I'm joined once again by Bryan Caraway, who's going to be taking on Luke Sanders at UFC Fight Night 123 on December 9th. Bryan, how are you today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. It's good to talk to you again. And, man, it's been a while since we've seen you in the cage. It was May 2016, and I know you've had some injuries. I know there's been some fights that have fallen through. How has this last year been, just not being able to fight and sitting on the sidelines?
It's been rough, man. It's it's been rough, but I'm glad to be back. And that's in the past, injuries, whatever. And I'm full swing camp and ready to get this get back in the octagon and get it going.
And how happy were you that you're fighting Luke Sanders? You know, he's got that 11-1 record. He's a guy that, you get the win here, it's going to get you right back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, he's not ranked, but that doesn't mean he's not incredibly tough and definitely not taking the dude lightly. I respect him a lot. He got awesome skill set. He brings it. He's in shape. He's ready to go, 3 rounds, 5 rounds, whatever. And, not taking him lightly whatsoever. I feel like it's kind of a lose-lose situation for me because, I feel like he is a tough top 10 guy for sure, but he doesn't have that number by his side. So some people are discrediting him, thinking that I'm trying to take it easier, give me a fight, and that's not the case at all. So it kind of sucks for me because, I'm fighting a guy that has the caliber, but he's not getting credit for it. So, it sucks. So, I'm going to have to go out there and, really put a statement to win to get any respect. I can't just beat this guy, so that kind of sucks in that matter, that fact. But, it's awesome that I'm going to have an awesome competitor. And, most importantly, I'm back in the cage fighting.
What would you say you've improved on the most? Because in the gym, because obviously you haven't fought, but I'm sure you've been putting in a lot of work at Extreme Couture.
Yeah, just everything. We're always trying to become a better mixed martial artist as a whole, and always working on mentality and everything, working on everything. So it's hard to say. I've been in the game for a long time. So like the laws of diminishing return. Been doing it for a long time. So little gains here and there are huge.
And I know news came out last week that Robert Fallis had parted ways with the team. Has that affected you at all heading into this fight?
Yeah, he's definitely my head coach, and Extreme Couture is my home, and they're my family, and there's no hard feelings or anything there. But it's kind of a weird timing for me. I'm still training with Coach Fallis. He's still my head coach, but he's kind of doing his own thing now. So I'm kind of splitting practices between the two. So it kind of sucks. It's been a little difficult, but I'm a warrior and a champion in my heart, and soon to be in the future. So it's just a minor little detail.
Yeah, just an adjustment, like you said. How's as far as training partners? Who are some of the guys you've been working with that are helping you get ready for this fight?
Oh man, still a lot of guys at Extreme Couture, are awesome. A lot of guys over there. I love Dan Ige. He just got signed with UFC. Always a tough competitor. My right-hand man, Gustavo Lopez, is always down, always there to help me out. He's always, whatever I need, he's always an awesome partner. Tim Elliott's out here for his training camp working with us. We got Julian Arosa. Another one of my main training partners is Noad Lahat. He fights in Bellator. He'll be fighting the 16th in Israel for Bellator. I think it's 188, I think it is. He's one of my main training partners. The list goes on. We got so many good guys from Extreme Couture and guys here in Vegas in general. So, I'm stoked.
You mentioned training with flyweight Tim Elliott. You training at all with Keith Lee? He's Kevin Lee's brother, and I know he's fighting up here in Canada actually on the 9th, the same night as you, or actually the night before, I should say, on the 8th for TKO. You training with him at all?
Yeah, Keith's been part of our group, so he's one of our, in our main training groups all the time. Like I said, we got a lot of guys that don't mean to leave anybody out. Julian Rosa, Gustavo Lopez, Noad Lahat, Tim Elliott, Keith Lee, Rodney Rampersad. We got some up-and-coming tough guys people don't really know about that are warriors. Mark Dickman's really tough. He's fights for Bellator, really solid guy, national champion or national runner-up wrestler. Just fight Bellator, really solid fighter. Man, we just got a bunch of guys that are just real tough.
Excellent. And how's the weight cut going? I mean, we got lots of time before this fight, but I imagine everything, going according to plan so far?
Since I had the injury, I was out for a long time. I hadn't, this is the longest I've ever been off not training in my entire life. since I basically was 10, 11 years old, I've always wrestled and competed every single year. And this is the longest period. It's going to be, I think, 18 months before I step in the octagon that I haven't actually competed in something. And like I said, every single year since I was a little kid, I'd either be racing dirt bikes or wrestling or competing in some sport. So this injury, being off for this long a time, my weight got really high and I got really big. So it's just been a grind to get my weight back down and get it on. I've never missed weight ever before, ever in my entire fight career, and I have over 40 fights. So I don't plan on missing weight this time, but it's just, I've been really diligent and just, my nose to the grind, working on that aspect. But I'm looking to be on track, so.
Great. How do you see this fight ending on December 9th?
I don't know. There's lots of ways. Anytime you ask me, I always see the fight ending me choking the guy. I feel like I could choke anybody in the world, anybody in the division. But if they count out my hands, they're going to find themselves on their butt getting, knocked down or knocked out as well. Mizugaki thought I was only going to wrestle him, and round 2 I dropped him with the right hand. And I've heard other guys with punches as well. So I'm a mixed martial artist. Although I'm known for my wrestling and grappling, the fight starts on the feet. I know that, and I'm not afraid to get punched. I've fought tons of fights. I fought in first couple fights. I fought bare knuckle fights, so I'm not afraid of fighting. I love to fight, and so the fight can go anywhere. But how I always see it is I'm going to end up being on somebody's neck.
And assuming you go out there, you get the win, and you're healthy and all that, when are you looking to get back in the cage? Are you trying to get back in early 2018? Is that kind of what you're hoping, just because you've had this layoff?
Absolutely. I want to try to get back in there in March or early April.
Excellent. Before I let you go, we have to talk about this. Of course, the Seattle Seahawks. You and I are both fans. They're 6-3 this year. What are your thoughts, man? I've been there's some games when I'm like they're looking really great, and there's other games where it's like I don't know. So what are your thoughts this season?
Man, it's just I think we're just missing a couple little pieces here and there. Our O-line was killing us for a while. We ended up getting the Dwayne Brown trade. That's kind of helped Russell out a little bit. But man, he's been having to pull out some magic tricks out of his playbook. Some crazy scrambles, made some. Anybody could say, no one can say that he's not the best scrambling, clinch quarterback in the NFL. I mean, if anybody says otherwise, they're crazy. I mean, that guy makes plays out of nothing. But I just think we're missing a few things. Lately we had I think 10 guys, 10 main guys on the injured list our last game. So that really, really hurt us. A lot of our good guys out. Earl Thomas is out now. Richard Sherman's out for the season with his Achilles. We just got a lot of really good guys out. But I think if we can get those guys healed back up, and I still think that we have a championship team. We just got to get those guys back in and make a couple little adjustments, and we'll see how it goes.
Excellent. Well, everyone's got to check out this fight. It's UFC Fight Night 123 coming up here on December 9th. Bryan, it's great catching up with you. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours, sir.
Definitely. Everybody can check me out, Instagram, Bryan Caraway, Bryan with a Y. I'm going to start posting a lot more stuff, especially in the off-season. I know I haven't been posting a lot, but, definitely follow me, man. I'm going to be doing some crazy stuff. I love snowmobiling, racing dirt bikes, doing some fun stuff, off-road racing, some pretty gnarly extreme sports. Same with my Twitter, @Bryan Caraway. And, man, check me out.